Good morning. We are into it. It is currently, it's going to be this way all day, but you know what I'm doing. It's Thursday, May 16th. We're 90 days out from Thursday, not necessarily Thursday. We're 90 days out from August 14th. So we talked about this yesterday. We're 90 days out. In 90 days, should you choose to engage, you will be joining us at Mega Camp, which takes place in Texas in August in Austin. I think yesterday during the All Partners meeting, we talked about August 12, 13, 14, 15. You're thinking, well, that's a lot of days and blah, blah, blah. You don't have to do that whole time. I guarantee you, if you look at the chart of counts for the event, the 12th is probably the Gary Keller CEO Mastermind, and the 15th is probably the last morning, and that's usually mastermind breakout session. So you could carve that down and be like, I'm just going to do the 13th and the 14th and escape on the night of the 14th. There's a million different ways to carve this turkey. We can talk about it. I'm just telling you in 90 days, that's where we're at, because today being May 16th, we're looking at August 14th for 90 days out. We always talk about the 90-day window, and I know people during COVID, certainly, when everything was expedited, people were constantly saying to me, well, Timmy, it's not really 90 days. It doesn't take 90 days to close. We are never going to abandon that 90-day window, because historically, if you look at the big long chart over the course of years and decades, that holds the closest to the truth. The most truest. There's your double superlative. That will not be on the quiz later. My English teacher is probably spinning in her proverbial grave. That holds the most true. So 90 days is why we're always focused on, mid-May means mid-August. And James Shaw talked about it this morning on the Pivot Shift call. Focusing on your closings is one thing, and you can, what we focus on expands. That's a bold law. Don't pull a muscle freaking out about what hasn't closed. Our concern should always be our number of appointments. Your conversions are going to improve. Time on task will beat talent every time. And the more that you are putting yourself in a position to close business, the better off you'll be. And this is what happens to us invariably. I've got an appointment, and you focus on that appointment, and then we babysit that deal to get it to close. And for a myriad of reasons, sometimes they don't come to fruition. And then you're sitting with an empty grill because you didn't put more burgers on the grill. If you are a solo artist and it's just you and your cat Mittens, and you're like, I can't take on more business, Timmy, we're going to help you with ways that you can for sure leverage yourself to put you back in your genius zone. We are at our highest and best use. You remember this term from class when you were getting your license. The great Anne Flanagan or Shannon Whaley would always say to you, properties have their highest and best use, as do we. And our highest and best use is to engage with more humans, to find out their motivations, and to help them tuck tab A into slot B and connect their hopes and dreams, right? When it's appropriate for them. So just because you're having more conversations might not lead to more appointments. But as we stack those conversations and we nurture those relationships, when those people who have been emotional with us then also become transactional, they will seek you out as their person, because you always made them the star of the show. You were always asking about them. It was never about the sale. We have to be head down, heart up, service first, sales second. My job as your coach is to help you make real estate the background music of who you are. So when people see you coming down the street, when people see your name on their phone, when people see you in their news feed, they're not like, oh, here she comes. Or, oh my God, I got to listen to him talk about his real estate business. If we make them the star of the show, when we make them the star of the show, we will win every time. That's our job. That's what being a salesperson is, helping people make the correct decisions. The correct decisions. So we're escaping from here. Don't forget, we got Fight Club today. Fight Club, no arrests yet, no injuries yet. 9 to 11, KWFightClub.com, KWFightClub.com. Cameras on, microphones off, and from there, we're doing the thing. We're making our calls. We're having our conversations. We're nurturing up our relationships. And then this afternoon, 3 o'clock, you got your Tech Mastermind with KT Temple. The link is in the morning news. And then 4 o'clock, he does his onboarding for tech. And then tonight at 6, you have New England coaching. right? So the great Tiffany Hampton does after school coaching for everyone and anyone who needs help. It's there for you if you are a full-time agent and you can't seem to get to some of the events. There's always something for you, and that's going on, of course, after school. That is 6 p.m. on Thursday, which is tonight. So reminder for you, we've had a very busy couple of weeks, and I'm excited that I've had so many conversations. I just talking to a dear friend of mine down in the Carolinas, and he was saying that they are having a great maps coach, and you've probably seen her nationally. Her name is Molly DeMatos. She is like the dean of K-Score, which is a tool that we use to help people understand more about getting into real estate before they've joined a real estate brand. And she's putting together a class called Sets, and focuses on skill set and mindset, which I thought was really cool. And a big part of it is about the person, right? We talk about Quantum Leap. We mentioned this. We mentioned this yesterday in the All Partners meeting. Quantum Leap is like Gary's love letter to real estate, and it's all about the person. It's not about your business is involved in the conversation, but it's really about being a whole person. And the pillars of our life as you go through your life, we historically have been, most of us, I can certainly say the way I was raised, it was you're going to go to school, and then you're going to go to work, and then at some point you're going to stop working. And I think most people in our country view employment that way. I think most people in our country just look at it that way. Like it is you have a season of learning, a season of earning, and then a season of playing. And Gary in the Quantum Leap class challenges us to think differently. And could you not do that every day? And I know what just flew through your head because it flies through mine, and I fight with it all the time. One of my biggest limiting beliefs is, how do I get that to happen every day? Because there's things that we have in our goal maps and things that we set out that we were going to do for ourselves in 2024. And yet you look back at that chart and you're like, hey, I'm not doing that right now. And I promised myself I would do that right now. And in the moment where we took some time, when we're doing our business planning clinic or we're building our life calendar for 2024, when we took a beat and we took a deep breath and we spent some time focusing on us, which I will blame all of us, we probably don't do enough. You had this sense of clarity and you're like, these are the things I want to do. This is what I'm going to accomplish in 2024, at least start to chip away at. And we're sitting here now mid-May, and we're only about 45 days away. We're going to do Thursday, June 27th. We're doing the halftime business planning clinic in 45 days. And I say that, and you're like, it's 45 days out. It's going to be here in 13 seconds. And I'm speaking to myself as much as I'm speaking to you, because there are things that were on your map. I love the term that I've heard a lot this year. I didn't see that on my bingo card, right? There were things on your bingo card that you haven't checked off yet because other stuff got in the way, and life always comes up. And I'm going to say that again to you in 12 months, and I probably said it 11 months ago. And when dates sneak up on us, you know, I always make the joke, everybody's got that uncle, they're like, oh, it's Christmas again? Yep, December 25th every year, you know. We all have those people in our life. And we let ourselves off the hook. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't give ourselves grace. We let ourselves off the hook because we're like, well, it's something that I was going to do for me, so it can wait. It's something I wanted, so it can wait. It's something that I've been talking about for years. What's one more year? And that's why Gary says we have to at least give ourselves the opportunity to consider, rather than having these big, long seasons. You know, you finish high school and then you do your undergrad. So maybe you're walking out at that point at 21 or 22. Then maybe you do grad school, 25 or 26. Then you get into the workforce. And that's your mid-20s to your mid-60s. There's 40 years of work. And then everything that you wanted to do, you're going to wait till then? So if you've got that passion project, you've got that other thing that you want to do, are you creating time during the day? Not to mention, for most of us, when we do get home, it's not just Mittens the cat. There's a loved one, there's a spouse, there's a partner. There's short people. Maybe there's old people. Some of us have short people and old people. It's a pleasure. And we're responsible for all those people. I'm not knocking that. The best version of us to be responsible for those people is when we take time for us. So what is it that's getting away right now? What is it that in 45 days at the Halftime Business Planning Clinic, shameless plug, lunch brought to you by Movement Mortgage, all day in the Portsmouth training room. What is it that you would at least would like to unwrap, start to peel that onion so you can sink your teeth into it a little bit more on the other side of the 4th of July weekend? And we do this on purpose, and I only just started doing this. We've only ever delivered Business Planning Clinic. We do it September, October, November, December. We spread it around all over the footprint. And we make these grand plans on December 31st for our 2024. And yet in 45 days, we'll be staring at the halftime buzzer. And I would love for you to take a look at your scorecard. And I said this with love and respect yesterday at the All Partners meeting. I expect all of you to be behind. I will repeat that so you don't think that you're hearing things. I would expect each and every one of you to be behind on your goals. Because I hear so many of your goals in coaching conversations, and I love that they're big, hairy, audacious goals. They should be. As your coach, I'm never going to author it for you. I'm gonna ghostwrite it with you, and I'll certainly encourage you to maybe move it to the perimeter and get yourself into a zone of discomfort, because that's where the growth is. We talk about our 411s and our GPS. And sometimes when agents get here for the first time, they're like, oh, yeah, my friend works at like Liberty Mutual or whatever, and they have like a 30, 60, 90. That's a list of things that their boss wants them to do. That's like office space. That's the TPS reports. That's the, I think I'm going to need you to come in on Saturday. Our 411s and our GPS are tools and puzzle pieces to move us forward, not some behemoth company that we work for. You don't work for Keller Williams. You work with your partners at Keller Williams. And I and everyone else on our staff, we work for you. So let's correct that language, because I hear that sometimes. And you know I'm big on semantics. You don't work for Keller Williams. You are powered by Keller Williams. We are here to make sure that your business can go wherever you want it to go. With the tools, the systems, the models, and the leverage. So what's keeping you from getting to that next step, from doing the next right thing, and from working on you? And I'm not saying this across the board, like everybody's got to work on themselves. I know I do. We are currently in a MAPS coaching class. And I have my MAPS coach, Jacob. I talk to him every Thursday. I will talk to him this afternoon. I have my homework with him every week. And we're currently in a MAPS coaching class where we have a 30-minute call every afternoon. We are being encouraged to read 2 books a week. That is more than your average bear. I think I've talked about this quite a bit. My life hack is to, we're reading Tim Grover Winning and Tim Grover Relentless this week if you want to jump into the party. And my life hack has been to listen to it on Audible while I'm holding the book and reading it. Makes me feel like I'm in kindergarten again. That's my fastest way to get through it. And that will burn it into my being the best. And I'm doing that, and it's allowing me to hear things maybe for the 75th time, but to pull them in this time. That's why we always want to be repeat educators. Dinah Kokoska, once the president of MAPS, a phenomenal coach. She's got a great new book out, by the way. It's over there on my shelf. It's called Becoming More. She's right up there with this gentleman, John Maxwell. And she said to me ages ago to Coach's Skills Camp, Timothy, don't forget, you're not really ever going to be teaching them anything. You're just there to consistently remind them. It's not often that I have a coaching conversation or a coaching call with any one of you, and we are creating the wheel or discovering fire for the first time. I'm just reminding you which way the wheel spins and how to reignite your fire. If we can do that, let's get together on that. If you need anything from me, you know where to find me, 603-834-2856. You can also book my face at meetwithcoach.com. Schedule me there. I'll see you in and around the internet and the Market Center. Have a phenomenal day.